Hey, Pool Chasers. If you have been listening to the podcast for a while, then you've probably heard us talk about the Pentair Master Service Program. Well, on today's episode, we are going to take a deep dive into what it's all about. When we were running Brothers, we were always trying to find ways to make ourselves and our team better. We were constantly looking for training programs that we could discuss during our weekly meetings. With the amount of knowledge in this program, we think it would have been a great resource to have during that time. This year has been much different for all of us, but summer will come to an end, and it will once again be that time of year where we can focus more on education. What better way to do that than to join the Pentair Master Service Program? If you've ever wondered how it works, this episode explains it all.
Welcome to your go-to podcast for the pool and spa industry. My name is Tyler Rasmussen.
And my name is Greg Villafania. And this is the Pool Chasers Podcast.
All right, well, thank you for joining us today, Sue. Can you please introduce yourself and what your role at Pentair is?
You bet. My name is Sue Robach. I am the National Training Manager for Pentair Aquatic Systems, and I'm responsible for our national workshop program that we do every single year across the country, as well as our self-paced online training site, which is called Pentair Virtual University, and we'll be talking about that a little bit today, as well as all of our TechSmart apps, which are troubleshooting tool that a lot of our technicians use out in the field, as well as training materials used for training itself, the education and training of our customers. So I have a very talented team of people that work very hard to ensure our customers are getting that top quality education, which we want to target to support their business success. So in general, that's what I'm responsible for.
Yeah, you do a great job. We've been to some of the workshops in person and, with your training team and sat through a lot of those. So your team is awesome.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
We've had a couple of them on the episode too. I think Carlos and Brian.
Yes. And I think Mike is going to be on one coming up here too, as well.
Yeah, we just did that one with him yesterday. So.
Oh, good. Okay, great.
Yeah, they're awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about your background and kind of how you got into the industry and eventually with Pentair?
Sure. Well, I started in the pool industry over 40 years ago. I like to tell everybody I started when I was 3, but that only makes me feel good, I think. But I started working for a pool builder in Sacramento, California, years and years ago, and that gave me a great foundation for understanding pool construction and all of the parts and pieces and moving points that go along with the swimming pool. And I also worked for a pool cleaner manufacturer years ago. This is an oldie, be ready, Arneson Pool Sweep. So I worked for them as an outside salesperson for a few years. I worked a little bit in distribution and then started my own pool business in Sacramento. And so I kind of felt in starting with the business and getting the prior education that I had from a construction standpoint, as well as working for a distributor. Boy, I'll tell you, you learn a lot about all the different manufacturers and all the different products that our industry has. So that distribution experience was valuable for me as well. So it really helped me in my business. But then after about 10 years in having a pool service business, by the way, where we did pool service, we did repair, and we also did remodel work, I was approached by Stay-Right Industries to come to work for them as a territory sales manager. And after a lot of thought and contemplation, I went to work for Stay-Right. Worked for them for many years. As a matter of fact, during that period of time is when I really discovered my passion for industry education. And I was given the opportunity there to take over the training program for my predecessor and mentor, Fred Hare. A lot of people in the industry across the country, I have found, know Fred Hare. He had a great reputation. And so I was very fortunate to be able to take over a very well planned and laid out program there at Stay-Right. And then, of course, Pentair purchased Stay-Right now almost 10 years ago. And so here I am today working with Pentair now for 25 years.
Wow, that's awesome. I forgot you had run a pool service company. We had that conversation in Arizona a little bit.
Yeah.
So how did that come about?
Well, it just melded. I was, after working for Arneson and having some relationship with distributors, and then working with a distributor and going out and calling on different accounts, I ended up creating a partnership with a builder in Sacramento who he built pools and I did the service side of things. So my service business grew pretty quickly because this builder had a pretty good reputation in Sacramento. And so that's where it started, just building up a business doing maintenance and light repair. And then, of course, as we got into this more and tied into the fact that he had a construction company, we also did a lot of remodel work on the service side. So it was a great partnership. And I'll tell you, it has really helped me in my career for the things that I'm doing today, just having the understanding of not only construction, not only pool service, but also how to run a business. And, of course, just things that are so important for us to be successful. The education side is so important. And, they say education or knowledge is power. And it is so true. It is so true. So I feel very fortunate that I've had the opportunity to have the experience that I've had throughout the years in the industry, and have definitely utilized that experience in the position that I'm in right now.
Right. And did you find it difficult back then to find information when you were starting your company?
I did. There's always the workshops or the seminars that are put on. And back then, not so much at distributor warehouses and that type of thing, but it was a manufacturer would put on a workshop at a hotel. Those types of workshops were helpful, but there really wasn't very much online training. And a lot of the workshops, while they went into some detail, a lot of the workshops were not as technical. They were more about products, the sale of a product. And it would, some of them would get into some technical information as well. But yeah, back then, the education emphasis was not as strong as it is today.
Right. How did you enjoy running your own company? Did you like being an entrepreneur?
Well, that's the American dream, right? to have a business, and you get to call all the shots, and you do all the things necessary for growth and all of that. So I loved every minute of it. It was very, very rewarding, but at the same time, it was very challenging. And I think for me, and this is just my personal experience, but I put everything that I had into my business. I had employees. I had, I think, about 8 trucks on the road, both doing repair and maintenance. And so the business was definitely growing and it was good, but you breathe your business. And I think what I really started to realize is not only was it taking up all of my air, it was taking up every minute of the day, as it does for many of our dealers out there. But I really hadn't done the right thing in planning for my future from the standpoint of what am I doing to tuck money away as far as investments and retirement. And so right at that moment, when I was kind of going through that thought process, this opportunity knocked on my door, and it was that Stay Right job offer to come to work for a corporation that, of course, had all of those things, the 401k plans and all of those different things that are offered from an insurance standpoint and all of that. So it was a hard decision to make. It really was. I sold my stocks back to my partner and actually went to work for Stay Right. But it was a hard decision to make. It was very hard, but I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, that can definitely be a difficult transition, but I get it. It's definitely an everyday grind, and but it is an opportunity that if you can get it and enjoy it, and you work hard and have a passion for it, it's something that I think a lot of, like you said, the American dream, and you got to experience that, and then now you're back in working for companies. But I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of gone full circle for me. I have definitely found a home at Pentair. I'm very happy working for this company. They're awesome to work for. I couldn't ask for anything more. So very, very happy with how this has come about for me.
Very cool. Well, speaking of Pentair, let's kind of jump into today's topic, which is the Master Service Program. Before we get into the details, what is the intent of the program, and what is Pentair hoping will happen by rolling this out?
Okay, so the Master Service Program is a tiered program that was built to recognize and reward participants who take the time and effort to improve their educational background surrounding the support and service of a swimming pool and its equipment. That's basically what it's all about. It is targeted towards the service person, the person that's going into the backyard and looking at equipment and recognizing when there's an issue and a problem. And we feel so strongly that the education portion of our industry is so important. And that's the reason we built this program around that education.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how can somebody get started? What's required?
Well, in order to participate in the program, someone has to sign up to be a Pentair partner. So they're going to need to have a login and a password. And the reason that we do that is that we want to give them a protected site, is the best way to put it, to where they have particular technical information that we don't necessarily want the homeowner to have. We want just the dealer to have these apps and tools and different things. And so in order to protect that, you have to have a login and a password to get in. I always call it the golden ticket. And the reason I say that is a lot of people are reluctant to sign up for a program or to go in and say, well, I'm going to register, because they're afraid they're going to get bombarded with advertisement or whatever the case may be. In this particular case, the value is that they are able to access these tools where the average homeowner cannot. Okay, so it gives them that great advantage. The tools that I'm talking about behind the Pentair Partner sign-in are tools like Pentair University, TechSmart, PoolPad Pro, which we're going to get into some detail on those as we go through the program. And I guess what I want to say about this is, even if you're not a business owner, if you're an employee of a company, you want to have your own Pentair login and password. The reason for that is so that you can track your own progress within the system. So on the Master Service Program, but you'll also have access to all those tools right at your fingertips, whether it's off of an iPhone, an Android, a tablet, or a computer. So that makes it really nice that these tools are protected and that the homeowner or that pool owner does not have access to that. So you want me to tell you how to get a Pentair partner number? It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so the way to do it is you go to www.pentairpartners.com, and when you go into the site, there will be a screen that comes up that says, or go ahead and log in, or it also says enroll now. So if you don't have a login, you'll hit the enroll now button, and a screen will come up and it will ask you, are you the owner of the company? Are you an employee, or are you a distributor? And so let's just take our example that you're an employee. You're going to click on employee, and a little window might pop up saying, do you know what the partner number is? You won't know that, so you're going to say no. And a quick form pops up, and it just asks for what your name is, your company name, the company address. So you'll submit that information. There's a little submit button at the bottom. And there's a matching tool that we utilize that will match that person to that company, so that we know it's a legitimate dealer or, person within the industry. And within about a 24-hour period, usually it's within 24 hours, you'll get an email that will say, here's your dealer ID and a password. And you'll utilize that now when you go back to PentairPartners.com. Instead of using Enroll Now, you'll hit the login button, and now you can log in with your credentials and you have access to the site. So it's a pretty nice way of protecting the dealer to make sure that those tools only are in that dealer's hands.
Yeah, and I like how you have a separate option for the employees because as the business owner through their Pentair Partners ID, there's a lot of confidential information in there. So giving access to employee with having their own unique ID is a good way to do that.
Yeah, it very definitely is. It does protect that business owner. There's certain things that you can view as a business owner versus what you can view as an employee. And so it does give you the different view. So that makes it nice too, so that people are getting the information that they should have.
Right. And before we jump into what the 3 tiers are exactly, what access will people have right away after making an account?
Okay, so great question. When they go in to sign in the very first time, they're going to see a little screen that comes up, and it will have, I think there's Pentair training, there's Master Service Program, there's Pentair Partners. There's a few different icons that are there. What I would recommend for someone to do is especially one that wants to sign up for the Master Service Program, just because you're a Pentair partner doesn't mean that you're part of the Master Service Program. You have to say, yeah, I want to be part of this program, right? Because we're not going to throw this stuff at you. We want you to choose whether you want to be part of the program or not. So what you'll do is click on Master Service Program, and a duplicate form of what you just filled out will pop up on the screen, and it will allow you to go in and acknowledge whether you want to be part of the program or not, okay? Once you submit that form, you are now signed up for the Master Service Program. But the other things that you'll see on the site is there's an area that's called Resources and Benefits. It's a tab that's up at the top, and it gives you all of the things that the Pentair Partner Program offers. There's rebates, dealer rebate center. There's news and announcements that don't go necessarily always out to the general public. It just goes to the dealer network. You have access to the product catalog. There's calculators and tools that are there to help you with, maybe calculating how much salt you need to put into a pool for a salt generator, or calculating gallons of a pool, or whatever the case may be. Under the training area, there's the equipment training workshops. You can go in and register for a workshop there. Also Pentair University, downloading different apps. All of those things are now at your fingertips that you would not have if you were not a Pentair partner. So there's a whole wealth of information, and the Master Service Program kind of encompasses some of these helpful tools to really arm somebody with the knowledge and the information that they need to go out and work on pool equipment or diagnose issues. So it's a very beneficial program.
Right. Thank you very much.
Since 1979, Lion Financial has helped make backyard dreams come true nationwide. Lion Financial is a specialist in pool financing solutions, offering low rates, long terms, and unmatched customer service. Their programs offer your customers the best in pool financing options, with programs available for scores of 660 and above. Lion Financial will finance more than 21,000 projects in 2020 and is a premier leader in pool financing options. Due to popular demand, Lion Financial's 2.99 special for a 3-year term has been extended throughout the remainder of 2020. Lion Financial's experience is unique to pools, not just any type of loan. They are a partner with both the homeowner and the pool builder until the project is completed, ensuring pool professionals are paid on time and in full. And it is absolutely free for pool contractors to partner with Lion Financial to grow their business. Lion Financial is committed to providing an excellent customer service experience. Homeowners will never be charged a consulting fee or prepayment penalties, and pool builders will never be charged a swipe fee for accessing their own hard-earned money. When it comes to something as important as a pool and all the memories that come with it, work with true professionals who have your best interest in mind. With more than 41 years of experience specializing in pool financing solutions, why trust anyone but the experts? To learn more about what they have to offer, listen to episode 94 of the podcast or click the link below.
And let's jump right into the different programs that you do offer within that. Can you share with us what those 3 tiers are?
You bet. So, and if someone were to log in, they could also find these tiers under Partner Center. Once they get logged in, they can go into their own dealer profile and scroll down to the bottom of the profile, and they'll see that they've signed up for the Master Service Program. And what they'll do is just click on the Master Service Program. It'll tell you when you registered. So once you click on that and you get into the Master Service Program itself, there's 3 levels of the program. And so the first level is the Pentair Pool Service Specialist. It's what we call our copper level. I'm going to, if you guys don't mind, I'll take you through all of the qualifying things that you need to do for these 3 levels, and then what your reward is once you achieve those levels. And the nice thing about the site is that you can track and see exactly where you are within the program, because once you've achieved your first thing, a green check mark will show for that particular task. So for the copper level, the very first thing that you have to do is you have to enroll and obtain a Pentair login and password. And the only way that you could get to this point is that you've already done that. So you automatically get a green check mark under the status box for that particular task. The second task that's necessary for this particular award is that you have to attend a local or regional workshop. So we do workshops across the country, and these workshops, they're in every single region across the country. As a matter of fact, on this tool, you can actually register for a workshop right here with this quick click button that'll take you right to a registration site. But at these workshops, we offer education that is very much both technical in nature, but also sales in nature. One of the nice things that we're doing with our regional workshops now, especially the big university events, is that when someone registers for a workshop, all of the courses that we offer within that workshop are elective. So someone could actually go in and select which courses that they want to take, whether it be something very foundational and basic like hydraulics or electricity, but they could also choose maybe something more sales in nature and learn how to upsell in a backyard of an existing swimming pool and what to look for to upsell maybe a customer from a single speed pump, for example, to a variable speed. That course will teach you what are the things you look for and how do you talk to a customer to help them understand the benefits of maybe doing just that, the upgrade of that to that IntelliFlow pump, or how to show energy savings. So again, the workshops have these courses. You build your own agenda and you decide what you want to educate yourself on. I think I remember back in the days when I would go to workshops and I would register, you really would sit in the seat and listen to an instructor tell you really and train you on what they want to train you on. In this particular case, you get to choose what you want to be trained on. So we have found this new format very beneficial for a lot of our attendees and have gotten just rave reviews from a lot of people that have attended. So it's been very much a success. So attending a workshop, this educational opportunity is so important. We know that there are ways of gaining education within our industry, but the face-to-face and the hands-on type trainings that happen at these workshops, I think makes all the difference in the world for a lot of people. If there's anything that we get back on surveys, it's create more hands-on. We want to do more hands-on. So our industry and our service industry specifically is very hands-on oriented. I know I am. I'm a very, very visual person. That's how I learn the best. And I learn the best by actually doing. And that's what we try to put together in a lot of these workshops across the country. The second task in this first ranking here is to attend a regional workshop. Once you register for the workshop and the workshop is complete, there is we confirm attendance. So you'll sign in when you get to the workshop. Once that attendance is confirmed and that workshop is closed, there'll be a check mark that will automatically go on to this area in the profile, showing that you've attended a workshop. If a check mark isn't there, it's probably maybe you didn't check in with us when you got there. So it's very important to make sure to check in when you get there. So that's the second thing. And then in the same category, there is you have to go to Pentair Virtual University. And now this is our online educational tool that allows you to go to Pentair University. You go in and you navigate to the auditorium. And in the auditorium, there's this building. You'll go in and we've organized videos by product category. And so what you'll do is pick one product category and watch all of the videos in that product category. Learn everything you can about that category. So for example, a product category could be automation. Maybe that's the product category that you choose. And so you're going to watch all the videos in the automation category. Once you've done that, that is also going to show a check mark within this area on your profile. And then you need to pass all the category tests. So on the Pentair University site, there is a course exam tab up at the top of the toolbar, and they're organized by category. So once you watch a video in a category, you could watch one video and then go and take that exam, and then go to the next video in the category and take the exam. Or you could watch all the videos first and then take all the tests after. It's really up to you as to how you want to do that. Me personally, just to make sure that I would be able to pass the test, I would probably watch the video and then quickly go take the test while it's fresh in my mind. That is how the university site can be used and what you need to do for this first category. So once you've now obtained all 4 tasks, you've check marked off all 4 tasks, what's going to happen is you will receive an award in the mail. Comes in a nice little blue Pentair box. And the first award is you'll get a nice ball cap that's in there that has a pool specialist patch that's on the cap. You'll also get an additional patch in the box so that if you wanted to put it on a jacket or a shirt, you could do that, as well as a Pentair branded pair of sunglasses. So that's what you get for your first category or for your first ranking. Okay. And then if you guys don't mind, I'll just keep walking through the three levels here. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, most definitely. We're over here taking notes, listening. We love it. So you're now transitioning from one tier, the copper tier, to another one?
That's correct. So once you've finished the copper tier, you can go back in and you can start working on the bronze tier, which is the Pentair Pentair Service Advisor. And so what that requirement is that in order to get this service advisor, of course, you've had to have already achieved all 4 categories or all 4 things in the copper level. And then what we ask you to do in this bronze level is to download the TechSmart app. Now, to do that, you can simply click on the download TechSmart action button that's right next to this task, and it will take you to the TechSmart page, allow you to download each of the TechSmart apps. So it's important that you hit this button and allow it to take you to the page so that we can get this check marked for you and that we know that you've downloaded the TechSmart apps onto your mobile device. So what TechSmart is for example, I'll start with the heater TechSmart, which is a troubleshooting tool that literally takes you through troubleshooting a symptom that you might find when you get to a job site. And for example, a MaxiTherm or Master Temp heater gives you a particular symptom. You can put that information into this app And what will happen is it'll start asking you questions, very simple questions, starting up at we'll call it the 10,000 foot level. And then based off of the answers that you give the app, it's going to now direct you to another area to double check, or maybe take a voltage test or do something, and then ask you another question. And based off of that answer, it keeps drilling down to find out exactly where the problem is. And it's a very intuitive tool, and it works so well that you'll get all the way down to the tool actually giving you, here's the defective part, and here's the part number. This is what you're going to need to order in order to fix this issue with this heater. So TechSmart is just awesome, an awesome tool in helping people diagnose issues out in the field. We also have TechSmarts that are available for EasyTouch, our EasyTouch automation system. It'll take people through basic programming of the EasyTouch, but it also takes them through troubleshooting. So there's a lot of information in the EasyTouch tool to help people through, trying to diagnose where we went wrong, whether programming wasn't set up correctly, or if we had an issue with maybe a mechanical relay or whatever. So it's a very nice tool from that standpoint. And then we also have a TechSmart tool for IntelliCenter, which is one of our newer automation systems. And this will help you set up IntelliCenter and get everything all programmed and ready to go. We're also working on a troubleshooting portion for TechSmart. It's just not complete yet, but we wanted to make sure that we got the programming portion in your hands so that with this new automation system, you would know how to get it set up. So we have that IntelliCenter TechSmart app as well. And soon to launch, we are going to be launching a ScreenLogic TechSmart as well this summer. So we're working constantly on trying to get all of these TechSmart apps in people's hands. So again, these are real useful tools, something that really helps our service guys out in the field or our startup people trying to get things programmed and ready to go for a homeowner at startup. So these work out really well. So that is one task in this bronze level. And then we also ask that you download the Pool IQ app, which is an app that is actually an awesome tool when you're in the backyard and you discover that there's a problem with a piece of equipment that you want to talk to the customer about. You can either repair it or maybe upsell to something else or exchange it with something else. This particular tool really helps you talk to the customer. It guides your conversation with that customer. So I think a lot of times what happens is we get into the backyard and we know that this is the right thing to do. We really should upsell this pump, upgrade it to an IntelliFlow pump because we know it's going to save energy. But a lot of guys say, I know that it's going to save energy, but I don't know how to tell the customer that and justify the additional dollars for that pump. And so the Pool IQ app, in a real simple way, allows you to click on, for example, the IntelliFlow pump and follow the talking points on that app to let a customer know what the advantages are in upselling to that IntelliFlow pump, for example. And it also includes, the IQ app also includes a calculator that will allow you to compare a single speed pump to this IntelliFlow pump based on the zip code that you're in. So it uses the energy costs that are in that zip code. And you can actually show a customer right on the app, here's what your energy savings will be if you choose to go this direction. So it's a very powerful tool. And again, I really like it from the standpoint that it's very simple, it's very easy to use, and it really guides that conversation in talking to your customer about, things that you find at the equipment pad. And then the last thing, I believe it's the last thing in this category, well, two things. You need to go back to Pentair University, watch 2 additional video categories, and then pass the category test. And by the way, when I say pass the test, you have to pass with a score of 90% or higher. We give you a little bit of leeway to get maybe a question wrong. But I kind of played around with that a little bit. I was thinking that it really should be 100%, because if you can go watch a video and get the answers and go back and take the test, it should be 100%. But I got a little pushback from that, so it's 90%. But you want to make sure that you go in and you pass all those tests. Once you've gotten all the check marks for this particular category, now what you're going to receive in the mail is an updated cap with now the service advisor badge embroidered on it, as well as 2 service advisor iron-on patches for a shirt or a jacket, 12-inch pair of channel lock pliers, and then a nice t-shirt, a Pentair t-shirt that you'll also get in that box with the rest of these rewards. So it's a nice little container. And again, the things that help support what you're doing out in the field. Once the bronze category is complete, then we have the silver level. And the silver level is the Pentair Pool Service Professional level. And again, what you'll need to do is make sure that you've achieved, the previous requirements in the previous 2 levels. And then what we would like you to do is go in and download PoolPad Pro by touching the Download PoolPad Pro button. It'll take you to the App Store if you have an Apple phone, or it'll take you to the Google Play Store if you have an Android. And there you'll download the app. So this is going to allow you to do that, and it will give you a check mark once you get it downloaded. This tool will require your login and password, because again, we want this to be just a dealer, someone within the industry, a professional, to have this tool. That's the reason that when you do download it, you can't get into it until you put in your partner number and password. Once you get into this tool, not only does it have all the catalog information, all the details on parts, all the schematics and everything that you would need to have out in the field. A lot of us, I remember I used to have all the different manufacturers' catalogs that were in my vehicle behind the seat in my pickup truck, that pages would get bent and turned and torn and whatever. But this is nice because all of this information is organized into a tool that's on your phone now or on a tablet. So that makes it really nice. But you also can, for example, maybe you're looking for a brochure that you want to give to a customer. You can go into the app, you can find the brochure, the piece that you want, and you can email it straight to a customer right from your app. Maybe the customer says, they came and started up my pool and it's all running and everything, but I don't have any of the manuals that came with all the equipment. I don't know where the manuals went. You could actually go onto this app, pull out every single manual for all the pieces of equipment this homeowner has on the equipment pad and bundle them all together and send them in one quick email to the customer. So now they have that digitally on their phone. So it's a real powerful tool. There's also videos on there to talk about products, to help dealers talk to customers about product. Also, there's a lot of technical documentation that's within this app as well. So it's a real powerful tool. It allows you to be able to do just about anything you need to do digitally through the internet and, send packages and links to people. I was talking about that dealer upsell program. This is where all this ties in. You're in a backyard and you find out that the pool pump is really loud and it's leaking and it's very old and it's not working very well. And so there's a lot of power in this tool to be able to send that type of information to the customer and let them know that you're watching out for them and that you're looking to help improve their experience in that backyard with that swimming pool. So that's a real powerful tool that we like to see people utilize on their mobile devices as they're talking to customers. So then the next task that you need to complete on the silver level for the Pentair Pool Service Professional is you need to go in and you need to view 3 more video categories on Pentair University in the auditorium, watch all those videos, and pass the tests that correspond to those videos. So those next two tasks are necessary for you to be able to go in and complete. Once those are complete, the last thing that you need to do is introduce another individual to the master service program. And so if you want, you can click, there's an action button right next to this task that says send an invitation, and you'll go in and you'll send an invitation to maybe somebody that you know within the pool industry. It could also be maybe a coworker that you're working with, and send an invitation to that person so that they sign up for the master service program as well. So how this works is once you send this invitation, they're going to receive an email that'll have a referral code in it. And to complete this requirement, that person is going to go to the master service program. And when they go to sign up, there's an area where they will enter that referral code. And once that referral code goes in, you get a check mark here on your task. And now you've completed that silver level. And you're able to now receive in the mail another cap that has the service professional badge embroidered on it. You'll get 3 service advisor patches. You'll get a hooded sweatshirt, a 9-inch socket extension, and 8-inch slip joint plier, all within that box. So there's just little tools that we're adding to your toolbox to help support what you're doing out in the field, as well as giving you some swag to wear as you're out talking with customers and representing yourself. So that is the last level of the program. Now, so we currently have these 3 levels. We are working on 2 additional levels, which will be the gold level and the platinum level. And we're in the process right now of, during the summer, we're going to be working on these levels to enhance people to even get more engaged within the program. These 2 levels are going to be a lot more difficult, and they're going to be levels that you'll have to achieve continuing education to stay in those levels. So, for example, the first 3 levels, once you achieve them, you're always at that silver level. But once you go to gold and platinum, you need to do continuing education year after year in order to maintain those levels. So we're still working on all the logistics of this. Of course, the rewards get a lot nicer as we move into these levels as well. So we're pretty excited about it. We've got some pretty cool ideas as far as achievements and things that you'll need to do. And we'll look for the launch of that probably early next year.
Yeah, I appreciate it. This is all very good. And, this seems extremely organized and very well laid out. What kind of people and what kind of time did it take going into this whole entire education plan in order for this to be what it is? Because it sounds like, you've taken a lot of feedback from service industry professionals. Obviously, there's a lot of people at Pentair that are very well educated to be able to put this together. But just curious, what did it take in getting this all to the level it's at?
Well, you're exactly right in what you're saying. And what I'll tell you is it took every bit of that and more. I mean, we have a great following with dealers out in the field that we always look to them for guidance, suggestions, improvements. We take it very seriously. We need programs and education and the things that we do to really fit for what the need is out in the field. And so we get a lot of input from dealers for sure. And we want to always continue to encourage those types of suggestions and that information. The marketing department at Pentair is awesome. They've spent a lot of time and effort in this program as well, supporting a lot of the things that we do on the training side. And I must say, the initial launch of this program, we've made a lot of enhancements and improvements to this program from when it first was launched. As a matter of fact, when we first launched the program, people were having difficulties understanding where they were in the program. And so we made enhancements to the dealer profile to include your status so that you could see where your check marks are and what you've achieved. So it's been evolving, and a lot of that has come back from dealers giving us that information, of which we're so thankful for. and have incorporated that into the program. But we also have a good leadership within Pentair that really believes in education. They really support the fact that this is what we have to do as a company to support our industry, to make sure that people are safe out in the field, that they are knowledgeable, that we're showing a professional appearance out in the field, and that this pool industry is, it is a profession, and not always in the years past have we had the greatest reputation, I think, in some cases. Years ago, you're just the pool guy, right? And we were finding that people are a lot more professional in the field, and they are a lot more knowledgeable, and we want to continue to support that because that's what helps our industry grow and keeps everything going. So it is a whole company effort in order to put this type of program on, from the Master Service Program to the Pentair University programs, Tech Smarts, and so on. A lot of support from the company, and it's a good place to be. It's a real good place to be. Industry education is so important. So there's a lot to it, and it's taken years to have it evolve to what it is today. But with the support of our dealers, marketing, our company, it's been an awesome ride, that's for sure.
Yeah, we can tell a lot of work went into it. So thank you so much to you and to the Pentair team for putting this all together.
Pool and Electrical Products wants their customers to know that they created the first choice brand for them. It's not their brand, it's your brand. PEP has gathered together products that are already proven, that have been used by pool professionals for years, and packaged them in the first choice label. They don't allow the first choice label to be placed on second-rate products. So pool professionals can trust that when they sell first choice to their customers, it's a quality product and PEP will stand behind that product. Plus, pool pros can have confidence that first choice products will not be available on the internet or in big box stores. A lot of time and effort goes into making sure that first choice continually meets the high standards PEP customers expect, but it's definitely worth it. The First Choice brand is for their customers to allow them to sell quality products at professional rates. To find out more, listen to episode 106 of the podcast or click the link below.
You had recently said that you had a pool service company and you were talking about having all these really thick manuals in the work truck. And just curious, if you had all the tools that Pentair is offering today when you had your service business, how would you have applied that to your business?
Oh my goodness. I would make sure that every single employee that I had these tools, and for the reason that you will use them every single day. Whether you're out working on a pool heater and trying to figure out what's wrong with the heater. I think a heater is a perfect example, you guys. If you think about this is a very complicated piece of equipment that is in someone's backyard that requires water, electricity, and then you set it on fire. Let's really face it. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with this scenario, possibly, if we don't know what we're doing. And so these tools, having a TechSmart tool to talk you and walk you through how to troubleshoot a particular problem or situation, or whether you are, again, trying to talk to a customer about why they need to replace this particular piece of equipment, whether it's a filter or a pump or a cleaner or whatever. I would have been using these tools every single day, and I would have encouraged my employees to use these tools every single day. They are just so valuable and can help people get through their day in such a professional manner. But, really bottom line, it allows us to get into a backyard. Let's face it, how do we make money when we're in the pool service business? We make money when we can go in and quickly diagnose a problem, repair the problem, and get on to our next job site. So the quicker we are, the faster that we can diagnose and repair, the more money that we're going to make. We get more done during the day. That's really bottom line. And so all of these tools, whether it's the knowledge that's up in your brain from, what you retain from university or a workshop, or whether you're utilizing all these tools every single day, these are all things that will help support your business to help grow the business and to help just to support you in that business success.
Very good. We totally agree. And when we had our pool service business, we're trying to think about if we would have implemented this. And we do understand that it is difficult to roll something like this out to your entire team. But, making that investment and sticking with it and dedicating time to training, there is that light at the end of the tunnel. Think that the more you know and understand and you give those tools and resources to your team, they start to become better. But we do understand that it's not going to be something, if anybody's listening to this and it's like, my team is not going to want to watch these videos or do all these things, think of a creative way to make it fun. And, not only the swag packs that you send after every level that company would pass, but maybe have something within your own company that you can reward your employees with as an incentive, I think would be a really good idea. But thank you for sharing that with us.
Absolutely. You're exactly right in what you're saying. A lot of business owners are encouraging their employees to participate in this type of thing. And in some areas of the country, some areas are still booming, heavily in the industry, and we're still doing service work and whatever. Some areas where it's a little bit slower. And, what a better time to take advantage of, that season and educate yourself and utilize this. Business owners are encouraging their people to do this. And on top of all of that, they get some rewards at the same time. So it's the Master Service Program is great for that. Business owners really like it because it is engaging their employees in education. So that makes a real big difference as well. But just the overall, I think I have to say I have to say this with a lot of pride. I have a lot of pride for my team members, the training team members, as we were recognized at the beginning of all of this. They have put a lot of hours and a lot of time into designing these programs and designing tech smarts. I mean, that's all done by my team. And so these guys are awesome at knowing where we need to go with this type of information. But at the same time, they're also listening when we're going through our workshop season and listening to customers, our dealers telling us, hey, if only you could do this. Well, that little bit of information is so important for us to always improve. And we always look at that and try to incorporate these suggestions into things that we do every single day. So all these tools that you see have come from my team, but as well, have come from suggestions coming in from the dealer network. And we're very appreciative of that type of input. So
right. And the hard work that you guys put into it really shows.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you saying that. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. So you talked about video categories earlier. What are the different categories that they go through?
Okay, so the video categories in Pentair University, they're located in the auditorium. And those video categories, we're trying to figure out how can we best organize, these videos to a person and their interests. And so we categorize them kind of how we set up a show booth, actually. If you think about it, when you go to a trade show, a lot of manufacturers organize their booths in categories. This is our automation area over here, and this is where our chemical controllers are. So that's how we've organized the Pentair University site in the auditorium. Is the categories are automatic controls, chemical controls, pool cleaners, general education. Those are those foundational courses that we were talking about. Heater troubleshooting, heaters and heat pumps, lighting, filters. As a matter of fact, lighting and filters, we're working on some content for those categories as we speak, as well as a lot of other content. But those are the categories that are in Pentair University and what someone is going to tap on to watch the video. That's how we've organized them, just by category.
Perfect. And is there any kind of success story that you can share with us? Just any companies or anything like that off the top of your head that you can think of that have really taken advantage of this program and, just rolled it out to their team and have, just had a lot of success with it?
Well, we've had, from the standpoint of, are you speaking of master service program or just in training in general?
Probably just specific to the training that we're talking about, the master service program.
Master service program. I think that, I've gotten some feedback from people who are all excited. I mean, we see it even in social media where they've received their box and they've taken pictures and shown a group of people what they just received in the mail. But again, I think we've also had some situations where we've had, well, I'm waiting on mine, I haven't received it yet, right? I think that was early on in the program when people couldn't really visualize where they were in the program and whether they had completed a task or not. So that generated a few phone calls here and there. But now that we've gotten the enhancements built into the program, I think the most rewarding part is just to watch these guys show off their stuff. I was at a workshop this year and, saw people actually wearing the sweatshirt or the t-shirt or the hat that showed, Pentair Service Professional or whatever the case may be. And what's kind of neat is it's contagious. Hey, where did you get that? How did you get that Pentair patch on your hat? Or where did that come from? So, for me, what's rewarding is to watch how contagious it is. Well, this is how I did it. And this is what I did. I participated in this program and you can do it too. So that's been kind of fun. And really what it does, which is right up my alley, is it requires people to educate themselves. That's the rewarding part for me, because I know that in doing that, people are stronger in their career, in their business, and in what they do.
Right. And anybody listening to this, we'd love to hear your success story, because it was a very exciting time in our business when we moved from doing pool service to learning how to plumb and install filters and pumps and automation. It was a very exciting time because you just feel like, you were moving up and you were doing bigger jobs that made more money, but it was still such a good feeling to complete a full equipment pad with automation and seeing a customer just really happy that they're now able to control their pool from their phone and all the different things that we can make a swimming pool and its features do. So if anybody has any success stories from when they transitioned from one thing to another by utilizing this program, we'd love to hear it.
I think that something happens when, and I know this happened for me when I first started my business, as much as I thought I knew when I started my business, you learn all the time, but you finally get to a point where you're comfortable with how something works or, whatever, and you can kind of dive into it and do it confidently. And I think these tools help in that way. Education helps in that way. But one of the things that I remember vividly, that this is how I knew I arrived, was when customers started saying, if I would bring up to them, hey, you know what, you really need to replace this pump. It's, on its last leg and it's time to do it. Early on in the business, someone would say, you need to tell me why, because I don't want to replace this pump. I just want to repair it. Later on in the business, as I got better and I was more educated and I was more confident, someone would say, go ahead, Sue, whatever you think I need. If you think I need that, go ahead and do it. If you think I need a filter along with it, if that's what your suggestion is, just go ahead and do it. Because there's something that happens when all of a sudden you have that trust. And you earn that trust through education and being knowledgeable and knowing that you're trying to do best for your customer. That's where that trust comes in. And that was huge for me. I remember living through that, where I wasn't confident and I would struggle to try to talk to a customer and explain to them why they needed to do this, to later on in years where it was very easy to just say, this is what I would suggest. Okay, go ahead and do it. And it would be, the first few times that happened to me, it was like, really? You want me to just go ahead and do it? Okay. So it's a fun time when that transition happens.
Right. Thank you. That was a good story.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember that same, transition for us. And that's pretty amazing when you feel confident in what you know and they, just start to accept what you say. But there's a skill to that. And developing that, and by learning these tools, you learn how to talk the talk with the customer and, that way they understand what's going on. But I think what's really cool too about the Master Service Program that I wanted to mention is a lot of people reach out to us about, trainings for their team, or how can I get them more involved and how can I do things. There are pieces in here I think that you could turn into, like Greg said earlier, some fun ways of doing training, where you could just take a certain section together and watch one video together or a few videos together and discuss them with your team, discuss why that's important, and kind of move through the program together. And a lot of people, reach out to us, like I said, about, I need weekly trainings or I need monthly trainings for my team. How do we do that? I think this is a way to do it. And you could, walk through these programs together. And some people may be more advanced than others, but it's also like a team bonding thing if you do it that way. So, there's some really cool advantages if you, look into it further like that.
Yeah, Tyler, you're exactly right in what you're saying. I think, and I know that we get, special requests. Hey, can someone from your team come to my business and help me through this or that? Help me explain, or can someone come and train my guys on these particular things? Well, you bring up a really good point. These tools and, the website and some of these things, if you do it as a group, maybe not even necessary that someone come and do this. You can do that yourself. You can train your own employees in utilizing some of these tools and customize it to your business, and into what your needs are. So yeah, you bring up a very good point. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, there's only so many people that can come and train. So it's good to have these online platforms. So we really appreciate you explaining all of it, Sue. It's a great program and you've done a really good job of explaining different steps, and we really, really like it. So thank you for, joining us today on here on the podcast.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys giving us this opportunity to share all of this with our dealers. A lot of them participate, but there's a lot of people out there that aren't. And so we really appreciate the opportunity, you guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll put all the links and everything, how to find out more information in the show notes and everything. So check them out. Thanks, Sue.
All right. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. Bye now.
Hey, Pool Chasers. Thanks for checking out this episode. Did you know that each episode has its own page on our website? This is where you can find more information about the guest and episode topic, as well as all the resources that we discuss throughout the show. To get to the webpage, click the link below. Also below, you will find links to the sponsors of the show, as well as links to follow us on our social media channels. On our channels, you will find some of our favorite clips and bonus material. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Our tag is Pool Chasers. We also have a Facebook group for the Pool Chasers community. Here you will find like-minded professionals all looking to make each other better. One last thing. If the episode has brought you value, please check out our Patreon page to support us. And if you could please rate and review the podcast, we would love to hear what your favorite topics are. Thank you for your time and your ear.
See you out there, Pool Chasers.